What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick's in the building.
Yo.
We're back from hiatus.
Yes, sir.
We're out
took
here.
a little week off for the holidays, man. Had to get right.
It was a hectic time.
Yeah, a lot going on.
It was a hectic time,
sure,
no
man.
doubt.
How are your holidays, though? Decent?
It was really good, man. How about you?
Good, man. No complaints at all. Had a good Christmas, good New Year. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy New Year. I was all over the place a little bit. I hung out with my mom's side of the family on Christmas Eve. Okay. Kicked it with my girl's side on Christmas Day.
Nice.
Went down to New Orleans. I just got back yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't been to New Orleans, you need to get down there ASAP, Rocky.
Been saying that.
Like when you came in and talked to me.
Been saying that, yeah.
I'd went. But
you haven't went.
I was kind of kicking it with, like, you know what I'm saying, my shout out AJ, our college homie, our longtime homie, grew up together. We were young.
Yeah.
This time I went down there and I was with family.
AJ, founding father of the No Catch Up Chicago podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out AJ Heindel, man. Helped this shit get off the ground, no doubt. Always love for AJ. He went to Tulane, so he was actually down there.
Yeah.
He was down there in an interesting time because it was right after Katrina.
Yeah.
So, like, by the time I got down there, it was still pretty fresh coming off Katrina. And this experience, being a little older, having a little more money in my pocket was a little different.
Hit all the spots, eat at all the good food spots.
Ate all the food, drank all the drink, went to the Sugar Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Saw Georgia get dominated.
Yeah, it was. I had money on Georgia, too, so it was not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, it's a good town, man. You know why we're here.
Yep.
Football Friday for the Chicago Bears in January.
It's that time.
It's really, really game time now.
Yeah.
Bears-Eagles preview. It's a Friday. We're going to talk all that. We're going to go through everything there. We're going to talk the rest of the NFL wildcard weekend, NFC. I want to focus on mostly the NFC because I'm not ready to even think about the AFC.
Sure, yeah, whatever.
But we'll touch on whatever we want. Bulls, Boylen, trade just went through. I know you've been hot on the Twitter.
The wheel keeps rolling, baby. Hey,
you've been hot on the Twitter.
Strap in. What I tell y'all a couple weeks ago, strap in.
Yeah.
Jim Boylen just keeps outdoing himself, man. This guy's amazing. He's incredible.
You've been hot on the Twitter, so we're definitely going to get into that. I'm excited to get those takes on wax. Yep. But how were your stuff, man? How was your holiday? How was
good,
New Year?
Man. I kept it low key, man, completely. Christmas, obviously, I went over to my girl's house. I started off at my uncle's house. Because, we talked about this already. We eat Christmas dinner early, like 2 o'clock. My girl doesn't eat till like 9, so I get a nice little buffer in between. Did that. Didn't really travel.
Which is still
anywhere.
Crazy, by the way.
It's still crazy, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like a 3-hour happy hour in between the whole thing. So, like, by the time we eat dinner at my girl's house, like, I'm loose. But it's all good. New Year's actually kept it low-key, man. We were looking for something to do, and then we just decided, like, man, we're just gonna chill. Like, my daughter's in Florida, so it's just me and my girl. We just kick back, got a couple bottles of champagne, and, did that whole thing, man. You know me, man. I'm low-key.
Yeah, I was low-key, too. I
low.
was down there for a family wedding. Yeah. Shout out my cousin Brody, the wedding. This New Orleans wedding shit is off the chain.
Oh, yeah, I did one. That's when I was there for October.
There was the second line
Did you do the whole walk through the
Man, we did we walked right by Cafe Du Monde,
did the
walk through the quarter. Everyone was showing us love. It was black tie, so everybody was everybody was suited and booted. Everybody had their umbrellas.
Yeah.
They had the band out there. It was great.
When we did it, it's crazy, man. It was actually at night and it was pouring rain. So like the whole thing was like almost like a scene out of a movie. Like we're doing the whole parade thing. It's a Saturday night and it's like pouring rain like crazy as we're out there doing the whole thing, but the band is playing like. It's crazy, man. New Orleans is a whole different experience. Shout out New Orleans. If you haven't been, like you said, go. It's not expensive either. Like, you can go to New Orleans and get it cracking for not a lot of money.
If it's, first off, happy hour's like 10 to 6.
Yeah.
You could get a beer. It's like a lot of spots are 1 for 3.
Happy hour's like 12 to 12.
Yeah, right.
It's Monday through Saturday. It's Monday. Right. Yeah, it doesn't stop.
We were getting beers 1 for 3.
Yeah.
And it was like you were getting 3 bears for like $8.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
all
a real
the good food
time.
spots are cheap. Yeah, decent. Yeah, it's real. It's a hell of a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see the board. Nick Foles is not ready.
No.
I want to give my quick little intro on this whole Nick Foles shenanigans.
All right.
I understand he's playing well the last 3 games. They went into L.A., beat up the Rams. Cool. Eked out a win at home against the Texans. Texans are a whole nother story. They didn't really play anybody. They gave up 30-plus at home against the Texans. Then they beat up on the Redskins.
Yeah.
Season's over.
Who were starting? Who were quarterback?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So, he probably won't even be in the league.
I have no idea who they're even starting at quarterback. Yeah.
Right. So, why should I be afraid of the Eagles is what I have written down here.
Yep.
They go into what they did in LA against the Rams was impressive. It was a must-win. It seemed like a must-win situation for the Rams to try to keep up with that number 1 seed in the NFC.
Right.
They go down there and whip them. But the way they got rolling early in L.A., from what I remember, because it was Sunday Night Football, they were running the ball early.
Well, and the Rams have been struggling. I mean, the Rams have been struggling. At that point, that was during that 3-game stretch where Goff, I think, threw 1 touchdown and like 7 or 8 picks. I mean, at that point, that wasn't the same Rams team that we had seen in the first half of the season. That was, correct me if I'm wrong, that was right after the Rams played the Bears, or was that the week before?
That was right after the Rams played the Bears.
Yeah.
So the Bears.
So they were in a funk at that point in time.
The Rams had just eked out a win in Detroit.
Yeah.
Then they came to us and got beat up
trash
bad.
Team. Yeah.
They came to us and got beat up bad.
Yep.
And then everyone thought it was that. This is just
and
what
Philly,
the doctor
and it was
ordered.
really it was a must win for Philly.
Right.
Yeah, it was. It was 100%,
must-win
100% must win for Philly. So whereas it wasn't necessarily that for Rams based on how they started off the season. So
and towards the end of that game, the Rams get another possession. They might come back and pull that off.
Come back and pull it off.
So
it was just in the middle of a funk. Did Gurley play that week?
Gurley was out, I believe.
And Gurley was out too.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on.
So I think this whole Nick Foles shit is a little overflated. What are your thoughts on that before we get into the keys of the game for the Bears?
Yeah, I mean, just on the Eagles in general, this is not the same team as last year's Eagles. Like, yeah, they won the Super Bowl last year. I get it. They also lost a lot of players, and they've had a lot of injuries, especially in the secondary. It's not the same Eagles team. They haven't looked right all year, right? So I'm not worried about them. The Nick Foles thing, like, hey, he's gotten hot at the end of seasons 2 years in a row. You got to respect it to some level. But I'm not ready to say, like, oh, man, I'm really concerned about Nick Foles coming in and giving us a problem. Because I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't think that team is as complete as it was last year. They don't have that magic with them that they did last year, and they're not going to catch anybody off guard. Doug Peterson called the game of his life in the Super Bowl. We talked about this before. I'm not concerned with that. My concerns are more on the Bears side than they are on the Eagles side.
Absolutely.
As far as if we lose this game, I don't think we're going to get beat. We would beat ourselves. You know what I mean?
Peterson does scare me a little bit because I think he's going to be on that we have nothing to lose.
Sure.
Like I'm talking about like he's going for a 4th and 3 on the 40 type shit.
Of course.
And I mean that worries me a little bit because he's really going to be out there running and gunning and going to try to do everything he can to make sure they have a chance to win the game.
You still need the horses.
You still need them.
You still need the horses. You can have the greatest plan in the world. Again, we've seen that he's an innovative play caller when he wants to be, but that team, they have not, no team from the NFC East at any point during the season has scared me. That division was just like, here, literally, like, take this. If you had an okay team in that division, the Eagles wouldn't be in the playoffs right now. And I don't even think they're that, so I'm not worried about them at all. Again, I'm not worried about them beating us. So, like, you asked for like the keys to the game and things like that. None of them are really about what they can do to us. It's more about what we can do to ourselves.
Oh yeah, drop them off on me.
So yeah, first one I got, man. Most important to me is going to be protecting the ball.
See, hold on, let me stop you right there. I hate when analysts say that.
Why?
Because that's always a given, right?
Well, yeah, it's always a given.
That's always a given.
Listen.
Everyone, that's the number one thing. Don't turn the ball over. Like, all right, like,
but that's how
you can't beat anybody in the NFL.
But that's how you lose to a bad team.
I
mean, that's how you lose to a team that's better than you and protect the ball. And the reason I'm saying that for the Bears in particular is we have seen Trubisky get in situations when he's bad that he throws these terrible picks. So it's not just your general blanket statement, protect the ball. It's none of the Trubisky really bad timing, errant throw picks that he has thrown this year. And trust me, I've come around 100% on Trubisky. I'm all in. But those type of turnovers are what I'm talking about. So protect the ball from those type of things from happening because it really destroys the momentum that we have for this offense. This offense, we talked about it. He's a rhythm quarterback. It's a rhythm offense. When they're in a rhythm and Nagy's flowing, that's when the things start getting good. When they break up that rhythm by turnovers and things like that, that's when it gets bad. So for the Bears in particular, more so than just the normal protect the ball. Keep the ball on the Bears side. Stay aggressive. That leads to my second one. Attack Philly's secondary. I think they're weak in the secondary, and I think they're prime for us to attack them there.
Interesting.
So, attack the secondary. So it's kind of like talking out of both sides of my mouth. Protect the ball, but attack.
So you mean open? So you would want to see them come out, open it up, and kind of try to push downfield because that's their biggest weakness.
Here's why. Yep, 100%. And here's why. Because we're not playing that great of a team right now. We're gonna need to do that for a deep playoff run, which is what I see for the Bears. So why not do it against this team? It's only going to get tougher from here on out. There's a team with a bad secondary. Throw Trubisky out there. Give him a spin. Your defense is good. And again, the Eagles. I know this is a big turnaround for your boy, right?
Yeah.
Because I was Mr. Keep in the garage.
Yeah.
But now that we are here, I told you my opinion has changed throughout the season.
You got to
attack, in a different position.
You got to attack other teams' weaknesses, though.
And if they're weak in the secondary, which again they are, right? It's susceptible to the big play, and that's something that we are capable of pulling. Don't just do it to do it. It is in our offense. Go for it. Because again, your defense is good enough, your run game is good enough, and overall you're a better team to overcome if that doesn't work. But just don't turn the ball over. Take your shots. You know pretty quick if Mitch is on or not.
That is true.
On those deep throws.
That is true.
He'll let you know early, like, hey, today's my deep throw game, or hey, today's not my deep throw game. That's the last one. And then third one kind of goes hand in hand with what we just talked about. Don't believe the hype. This is not the 2017, 2018 Eagles. These are the 2018, 2019 Eagles that backed into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't believe the hype.
And I was actually going to make this point, too. Shout out my guy, Sports and Shoes, tunes in every week, every show. It's my guy. He mentioned if Alex Smith doesn't break his leg, the Eagles probably don't get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if Colt McCoy doesn't get hurt, they still might not get in the playoffs.
Which is the craziest statement ever, that if Colt McCoy could swing any type of playoff race.
Right. Like, if he could have stayed healthy, I mean, they were down to their third quarterback to close the season.
It was
Sanchez,
right? Was it even Sanchez? It was Josh Johnson for a while.
It was Josh Johnson.
Then they brought in USC. Blonde hair, Matt Barkley.
Yeah, okay.
Matt Barkley was playing some quarterback over
there.
Yeah, everybody was going to check.
But yeah, right. But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like this is not the Eagles of
play them scared.
Right.
Right. And if you get up big, keep the foot on the gas, because again, look at it as a dress rehearsal, a test run, and whatever you're trying to do to make sure that he can play in the playoffs and play in this environment. Because Soldier's going to be rocking. Because if you got to go down to would we play
we'd have to go to L.A. next.
Would we go to L.A. next? Yeah. Which, could, again, is going to be a home field advantage for us because it'll be half Bears fans. But, yeah, that team's going to be tougher. Also a team that doesn't have a great secondary, though. So, look, get it rolling. Prepare next week for L.A. I don't want to look ahead, though. I'm not saying that they're trash and they'll, it's a rollover game. But am I concerned about them? No, not in the least bit. Not with our confidence.
Since we're talking us and Trubisky and our team, I'm going to give what I got here as my keys to win. I got 3 as well. I'm kind of in between with what you said. I think Mitch just has to play like he's played the last 3 games. He's protected the ball. I think he has 1 turnover on a fumble, but no interceptions. He's on his solid 23 of 29, 220. And a touchdown type, little baby Alex Smith type numbers. You know what I mean? I think if he stays there, we absolutely have no chance to lose this game. That's how I feel. I think the biggest thing, and I have it written down as well, there will be opportunities to make plays downfield, just like you said. So when they're there, go after them. But I almost am like, if Philly comes out on 0 and they aren't doing anything, I don't know if we need to open it up too much. I feel good knowing that if we need to go down and score points for whatever reason, I think it's there. But I'm a little more on the conservative side than you are, I think.
Why would you be nervous to open it up for the team seeing what we can do, or because we're playing it? Because we theoretically we're playing a team that we've already played before, so they've already they had 12 weeks of film on us before they played us the first time.
Just because it's the playoffs, it's his first game. If the opportunities are there, I guess kind of what I'm taking from what you're saying is you want to come out and start throwing that bitch early.
No,
and I'm not really like. let's work into the game. If the D is playing OD and they're not and they're stopping the run and doing this, doing that, then and we're running the ball a little bit. They are tough on the run though. They're like 7th in the league in run. But I just want us to start it off a little slow before we start getting there slinging.
I'm all fine with it. No, you definitely, again, one thing that the Bears have done a good job of in the last quarter of the season is establishing the run, and I don't want to get away from that because I do think it's important.
Last week was amazing.
Yeah. So that's what we've been doing. Like Jordan Howard's obviously been getting involved. Like I love all that. I'm just saying that he's got to be ultra confident throughout the playoffs.
Right. And this would be a good time to get.
If you have the chance where you're like, yo, we got this game or just the game, again, come out with your regular 15 scripted because Nagy does a great job at that. So come out how you're going to come out regardless, right? But if the game is looking like, oh, like we're feeling good about how we're playing, we're feeling good about what's going on,
field.
Let it go.
Run them off.
Let it go. You don't got to show everything, but let it go.
Right.
And if it's not working, you have the confidence in that, hey, we're still better and we can win. And then you can scale it back.
Okay, then we're on the same page. Then.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
I like that.
I see where you're coming from, though. I'm just like, now I'm at that point, man. I'm getting giddy. I'm excited. I want to see, I want to see it because I have seen some of it this year, and I want to see what we can do, and I want to see how he does it in the playoffs. So, yeah. I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. Philly gives up 269 passing yards a game. That's 30th in the league.
That's crazy.
That's only in front of Kansas City and Cincinnati.
Right, and
you saw what Mitch did to Tampa Bay.
And how many divisional games is that? 8?
What do you mean?
How many games do they play in their division? 6, right? 6?
I don't know. I don't understand the question.
I'm saying they give up 269 yards per game, and damn near half their games are against the shitty quarterbacks in the NFC East.
Right.
So it's not like they're playing against.
They're playing against Dak.
2 games against Dak.
Right.
2 games against
Eli.
Injured Carson Wentz. 2 games against Eli Manning.
Alex Smith's not ripping you up either.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I meant. So like half their games are against shitty quarterbacks. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're giving up big numbers to Dak,
Eli
and them, then we should be okay.
We should be okay.
And like I said, when Nagy got a week to prepare for Tampa Bay, one of the worst secondaries in the league at the time,
Mitch had 6 tutties.
They shredded
them. Yeah.
So coming into the playoffs with another week to prepare, and you're at home, and it's one of the worst secondaries in the world, then I don't see why he couldn't shred them as well. And the pass rush is going to be a little better than Tampa Bay's coming from Philly with Fletcher Cox and those boys, but Nagy should be able to draw some up that'll give them issues.
100%.
My other 2 keys: stop the run. Period.
Easy. Yep.
The Bears have the number 1 rush defense in the league. Eagles are 28th rushing on offense. Pure point blank, if Nick Foles has to drop back and throw it 40 times,
which is going to happen,
they have 0% chance to win the game.
Chance of winning. Yeah.
They have 0% chance to beat the Bears.
I don't even know who their running backs are. They've ran through all that. I think it's Darren Sproles is still out there.
Darren Sproles is out there.
Shout out Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles is a legend.
Note, legendary.
I still remember to this day when he scored in the Senior Bowl at K-State, and he pointed at his name behind his back. And that was like, 13 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, he's been in the league 13 years, 5, 6.
Yeah. Legend. So, but yeah. If Nick Foles has to come into Chicago, Illinois, and throw the ball 45 times,
feeling good.
Mac and those boys they're going to be all over him. They have absolutely no shot. So that's what I think is a big factor. And my last thing, stop Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
broke the NFL reception record for a tight end this year at 116.
116, yeah, that's
ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of balls.
That's a lot of balls for a tight end.
Not Tony Gonzalez, not Shannon Sharp, not Gronk. That's a lot of catches.
Balls. Yeah. It's a lot of balls at any position.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a lot of balls for a wide out.
Unless you're AB.
Yeah, well, AB gets.
AB goes for like 140 a week.
He shows up to work that week. Yeah.
But that was the other key thing. I don't think they're going to be able to do much on the edge. I have confidence in our corners and our help over the top with Jackson and Amos. So like, I'm not worried about that. But like, you know how I can get in the middle.
Absolutely.
A little safety valve. Next thing you know,
well, that's the thing with a guy like Ertz, because you got this little guy. Yeah, not a little guy, but you got a guy who's going over the middle, and that's where the Bears are suspect.
Right.
You know, we saw Miami do it to us, and he could eat it up 9. Should he get 13, 14?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
If he's throwing the ball 40 times, I mean, that's where he's going.
So next thing you know, all of a sudden that's the one thing I want to
and smack Alshon in his mouth.
Alshon said he not worried. They ain't played the Bears. D ain't played the Eagles yet.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said about Chicago though versus Philly? He said, "I love Philly. I love the city of Philadelphia. Chicago, I just worked there."
Wow.
So I wrote someone on Twitter was like, "Yeah, you took a lot of sick days."
Wow, I just worked there.
Yeah, clown.
Yeah, that's tough.
Chicago gave Alshon love. Like, yeah, don't come on, man. No time to hear all that. So smack him in his mouth real quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Set the tone early.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. Only thing I'm worried about, I'm not even gonna go there because I don't even want to jinx it. So let's go.
No, go ahead.
Will be an injury. Because, all the statistics that did come out on the Bears this year is that we were like, what, the second healthiest team, I think, in the league? Like, it was uncanny how healthy the Bears were. Yeah. So, obviously there's a lot of continuity, and that really helps throughout 16 games. So I just want us to stay healthy. If we get up big, don't, like even last week with some of the Anthony Miller shit and some of the injuries that look like, I was like, I don't know. Like,
True is still out there behind the second.
He's out here trying to win the game. I think Nagy can't help. Did you watch that clip?
Which one?
The 15-minute video of him mic'd up as the
No, you
oh my god,
I didn't get
bro, I wanted to talk about
I didn't
that.
get a chance to catch it.
Oh, it's amazing.
So what Nick is referencing is he sent me a 15-minute clip of Matt Nagy as an Arena League quarterback.
And Mike are calling the game, yeah.
And he's just out of control,
He's out of control. Like he's arguing with his coach, changing the plays. He's screaming at other players on the sideline, cursing people out. He called one dude a punk bitch. He's crazy, bro. He's like nuts. It gets so crazy that like they start losing the game because he's so crazy.
And he's just
he's
manipulating
crazy.
everything.
He's crazy. His coach is like, "Hey, let's go too deep." This is like, "No, that doesn't make sense." Like he's crazy, bro. I'll see if you post it on Twitter. It shit is hilarious. But the other thing that I watched about it that was crazy, and I'm surprised like a lot of analysts hasn't talked about it. A lot of those concepts that they were running in that Arena League, like he was, when he was the quarterback of that team.
Yeah.
It's like eerily similar to some of the shit that the Bears do as far as just the motions, the misdirections, the different use of players and having them come from different ways. Like he ran this run play where he pretty much set it up like everything was going to the left and he ended up going to the right and throwing to one of the linemen. Just like that play that we had a couple weeks ago where we threw to whatever dude's name is. It's interesting. You can really see that some of that Arena League shit is kind of creeping in. Obviously it's a different game, but the concepts, you know what I mean? The
now,
idea.
how do you, that's a perfect. I got a question off that.
Yeah.
Do you think that Peterson and him being on the same staff in Kansas City, is there any dynamic that gets brought into the game? You think from that?
Yeah,
like,
I think
he's familiar with how he does things.
It's the same philosophy. Why do you think Nagy would want a Trey Burton or something like that? I mean, like they all want those same type players. Trey Burton, where was he before he was in Philly?
Yeah, Tariq is our Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles.
It's the same concept. Yeah,
yeah.
It's the same concept. It's that spreading the ball around, no dominant touch players, right? Because if you look at the Bears, it's really evenly distributed. The Athletic had a good article a couple weeks ago. I think the leading receiver on the Bears is it's Tariq Cohen.
Yeah,
it's Tariq Cohen. You know what I mean? And we got all these other.
Tariq is averaging like 8 a touch.
Yeah,
8 yards a touch.
Yeah, and he has like 65 receptions for the year. So it's a lot of that spreading around, different looks, misdirection. Sleight of hand. It's all that quick stuff, man. Yeah, I really like it. But there's definitely going to be a lot of the same stuff. And
I think
Peterson's not going to be caught off guard by some of that.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic because. When you're homies with someone, you know how they operate.
You know how they operate.
And they were, you know what I'm saying, they were they were working on offenses together in Kansas City.
They used to break bread. They used to think together all the time,
They're
man.
brainstorming shit.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you want to try some shit like this? Ooh, like, yeah.
Yeah.
When I get on, I'm going to try some shit like this. Like, ooh, yeah, I like that.
And I think that opens up more of an opportunity for Nagy to sit down with Fangio. Like, hey, beware of this in these spots. Yeah. This type of formation. This is how he likes to do things.
I don't think Nagy sits with Vic.
I think
he might give some input. But Vic is an old man head coach. That's his room. He gets it. We're good.
Yeah.
You haven't sat with me all year. You don't need to sit with me now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we don't know. I don't know their dynamic like that. But
I think Nagy's an offensive guy. Vic, I think that's why he kept Vic in. You know what you're good at.
You deal with all this shit.
You deal with this. This is you. These are your boys. Are your boys. I'm fine with it. We're gonna try some shit over here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing that I want to bring up too. We haven't talked about this, and just like you didn't want to bring up injuries, I don't want to bring up Cody Parkey. But I will say this. Bears fans, please, if he misses early in the game on Sunday. Do not boo this man. We're going to need this guy at some point in that game or down the road in the playoffs. We're here. This is the roster. Like, it's not like we're in the middle of the season and we could boo him off and he gets cut and we can fill him in. He's going to be the playoff kicker.
Yeah.
He's the kicker, bro.
Without a doubt.
So if he goes out there and misses a field goal early, I just don't want us to boo him and mentally just have him shook because there's going to be a big spot, bro, where we need him and he's going to need all the moral support and fan support he can get.
And stop clanking it off the fucking post.
See, I get that.
But do you feel me? 6, 7 times this year? It's unbelievable.
But do you feel me, though?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, like, the fans are going to boo him if he misses. There's nothing we can do about that.
And I don't think that, but like, we're smarter than that, though.
Yeah, but
they're delicate, very delicate individuals.
They are delicate individuals, but hey, you know what?
If we boo him, and Nick, can you imagine if he missed an extra point or a field goal in the first quarter and it came down and we needed a field goal in the fourth and we booed him off the field in the first quarter? Yeah, I think it'd be tragic, bro.
Hey.
I think it would be tragic.
You have one job. You have one job.
So boo him. You would boo him anyway.
I don't know. That's why I watch the game at the house, so I don't have to make these decisions. But I don't know.
You feel me?
He doesn't have the benefit of the doubt at this point. I mean, he doesn't. He's
but doesn't he
booed.
have to now, though?
No, I mean,
doesn't
not
he have
really,
to?
man. That's a tall ask.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, he has one job, bro. You have one job, man.
I just couldn't boo him because we're gonna need him.
Then don't. But I mean, people will.
We're gonna need
him. Don't
him.
fucking miss field goals, man.
We're gonna need him though. What I'm saying is, Bears fans, anyone that's listening, spread the word. Do not boo this man because it's not gonna do us any good because he's not going anywhere and he's gonna be the kicker for the whole Super Bowl playoff run, whatever you want to call it. He's not going anywhere.
That's soft. If he fucks it up in the first game and he continues to fuck up, he's gonna get booed. And that's just what
I'm a booer.
I'm not worried about his confidence. We weren't booing him when he clanked 6 off the fucking in one game.
Yeah, we did. We were I was at the game.
I mean, whatever.
After
how many did it take before he got booed?
1, because he had missed a kick the week before.
Like, oh wow, there you go.
So I mean,
don't miss kicks, bro. Do your job, man.
I get it.
It's not our job as fans to give Cody Parkey confidence because when he comes out the first time for his first kick, he's gonna get support. So he will get started off from the beginning with support. He's not going to walk out for his first kick and get booed.
That's true.
But if he comes out and he clanks that shit, he's going to get booed and that shit's on him. Point blank simple. Now, if you're saying, hey, don't boo him when he walks up, that's reasonable.
No.
I understand.
You shouldn't.
But
don't clap. Don't say anything. Don't boo him.
No, when he walks up.
It's just not.
That crowd will be, when he walks up for his first kick, that crowd will have nothing in their mind but supporting Cody Parkey and building him up. That I know. That's for sure. But if he misses it and he kicks it off the post, which he seems to love to do, he's going to get booed, bro.
That's not good.
To whom much is given, much is expected. You're a playoff kicker. You just said it. Figure it out. Then maybe he should be right there kicking in Soldier Field. You know what he should be doing? Kicking in Soldier Field right now.
He should be kicking. Oh,
tell Miss Parkey I'm going to work.
Dude, tell it.
I want to have a job next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Blair Walsh.
I feel it. Bears are giving up 6. How you feel about that number?
Man.
Over under is only 41.
I don't like to bet. I don't know. The playoffs are a whole different animal.
I've been trying to figure out how they're going to score, and I can't really come up with too much.
No, me neither. But
so like that makes me feel really good. They're not going to be able to run the ball. That means no play action. He's going to have to drop back and pick us apart, and he's not Tom Brady. All this Nick Foles magic, I don't believe in magic, and I definitely don't believe in Nick Foles magic. So I don't see it.
I hear you. I'm not concerned about it. I don't know how I feel about the 6, but I'm not concerned about it. I actually like the 6. That's surprising.
Like 24-13?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I actually don't mind the 6. It's a good value.
Oh, you would take the 6?
No, I would give the 6. Yeah,
I don't see. I just really don't see how they score.
No, I would not. No, I would not take Philly in any chance in this game.
Yeah, no.
No, there's not a line available. That would take them at. No.
All right, before we get to the rest of the NFC stuff, that was my last bit I wanted to say on Parkey, man. If we can avoid booing him, but anything else you got?
No, just ready, man.
Here?
You know,
I'm ready,
down,
bro.
Man, ready to go. It's playoff football. I'm excited. I do not like. I'm not a fan of the 325.
Huh.
We've avoided the 325. Well, we had one late start the entire year. I hate it. This is more old man shit for me. But like the way I watch, I guess the playoffs it'll be different. But like the regular season, the 325 for me is like the nap.
Is it 325?
I think we got the afternoon. Don't we have the late game?
I thought it was 5. I thought the first game came on at like 325. Here, I can look it up too.
340. We got 340.
340.
Yeah.
And what time does the Chargers come on then?
12:05 because we're on Sunday.
Okay, we're on Sunday.
Yeah, they're
okay,
starting regular times. Usually I don't like it just because I watch football for like the first 3.5 hours for the first game. I'll drink a little bit.
Yeah.
In the second game, I usually like sleep the first half and then I wake up in the second half for it.
Catch the second half and then catch
because
the
you
Sunday
think
night
about
game.
it, you still got then you got the Sunday night game. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot to watch.
So this is a personal.
It's a personal
problem.
thing. Yeah, it's just like
I thought you were about to come to me like.
And I don't. No, there's no like
sun angles.
Yeah, hell
and the wind.
The way the wind swirls. No. No. I also like just waking up, getting my coffee, doing that whole thing like 12 o'clock football start. I don't like waiting, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't like watching the whole game and then waiting for the Bears to start. Like I hated it last week, so I just want the Bears to play. But it's better than the Saturday game.
JJ Johnson asked, should we be concerned about Taylor Gabriel, Tony Miller, and those guys, Allen Robinson, being limited in practice? Eddie Jackson as well.
Nah.
I think they're just trying to give him a little extra rest.
I think he's giving him a little extra rest. He limited him last week. No, I'm not concerned about that. Those guys are ready to go. We would know now if they weren't playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Usually this time of year, we're talking about should we fire the coach or not? Who's the new coach? Do we need a new GM? And this year, 2018, we're talking about the Bears playing
It's 2019.
2019, a home playoff game.
Yep.
2018 season, 2019. We're talking about a home playoff game. So that's a hell of a turnaround.
Yes, sir.
And I am very excited about it.
Bear down, baby.
Bear down. All right, let's check out the rest of the NFC because people keep, like, I've been talking to Runzel a bunch. He keeps asking me about what do you think about the AFC. I don't care about the AFC. I don't even want to hear about the AFC. Like, let us get through the NFC. Let us hopefully win this game at home, then get to LA and then get to New Orleans. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
forget about the AFC. So, how do you feel about the rest of the squads in the NFC? Seattle, Dallas, the Rams, and that's it. That's Seattle, Dallas,
New Orleans, and New Orleans Saints.
and New Orleans,
Orleans
yeah,
Saints.
and New Orleans, yeah. Correct.
The team that I'm really worried about is New Orleans.
Of course.
I don't like playing Seattle in general. Like I told you that before the season started. They're one of those teams that like now they've got hot in the second half and like
Hold on, but you mentioned like Philly and like this is not your old Philly.
Yeah,
Isn't this a little? Don't you still got a little bit of that lingering
no,
old Seattle in your head?
Not with Seattle because Russell Wilson is exponentially better than Nick Foles. So that goes. Russell Wilson had an MVP caliber year this year.
He low key has one every year.
Yeah, every year.
You really want to?
Yeah, he's a dangerous
bad
quarterback.
man,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't want to play Russell Wilson. So he concerns me. Cowboys, I'm not worried about, man. I think the one thing with the Cowboys that you can get caught up in is Zeke. If they start feeding Zeke and they're able to run up and down on you, then you have a concern. But like you said, the Bears have the #1 rush defense in the NFL, so I'm not worried about them. New Orleans is I'm definitely worried about, right? I'm worried about playing them at home, but I do think New Orleans has some weaknesses. I think that, defensively, they're still not awesome. You know what I mean? I think you can still exploit them defensively. What you don't want to happen is just getting that track meet with them where, it just turns into a shootout because that's their style of game.
Yeah.
So they concern me the most. LA, I'm not concerned about the Rams. I think Goff really fell apart at the end of the year. I think the Rams, some of their stuff was exposed by the end of the year. And I just think they slowed down. They shot out the gates crazy.
Yeah.
They shot out the gates crazy.
Track meet.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think they really slowed down. And I think that they got to turn that back on, and I'm not as scared of them as I was.
I saw an article that ranked the quarterbacks in the NFC in the playoffs, and multiple analysts or writers had Goff at the bottom of
The
the
worst
NFC
quarterback?
Had Trubisky in front of him. I was a little taken back by that. But
I think in the NFC it would go Breeze, Wilson, either Goff or Trubisky, Foles, and then Dak.
Yeah, something like that.
Dak had a great game last week.
Everyone had Foles in front of Trubisky too.
That's crazy.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how you would have Goff. Goff, again, he fell apart at the end of the year, but over the last 2 years,
he's been very good.
Very, very good. Yeah,
he's been very good.
But again, yeah, I would worry about playing Seattle, man. Again, I would worry about playing them. I don't think that they would beat the Bears. It's just I would rather not see them.
Tell them to go down and take care of business. Tell whoever to win that game, go do us some favors and go beat up on New Orleans.
Yeah.
Are we taking the Rams shit a little for granted? Like, oh, we beat them, so we gonna beat them again?
No, I don't think so. I think we're giving them respect. I don't think we're gonna. No, we were just talking about. That's the game. Game 2 is when it's gonna get cracking. I think we're probably taking the Eagles for granted. But I think the Rams. They're a good team, but I feel that we're better.
Like we've said, I don't think I'm taking the Eagles look for granted because we're at home and we just don't lose at home.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen. It just won't happen.
Right.
Unless Trubisky implodes, then we're good. Yeah. It won't happen.
So that's why I said protect the ball. So you coming back around. It's not your analyst protect the ball. It's protect the ball. But I'm not. I don't. Nobody like strikes fear in me in the NFC.
Who wins that Dallas-Seattle game?
If it was in Seattle, we already know. But Seattle.
You think so?
Yeah. I always, at the end of the day, I look at the quarterbacks, and it's Russell Wilson versus Dak Prescott.
Dak been playing all right though, and they're at home, and that defense is
their defense is nice.
Defense solid, bro.
Yeah. And they got a great running back, but at the same time, man, if Seattle goes up on them, you can't win that style of football. Dallas can't trail in a game because they're not coming back and beating anybody with the way that they play.
Unless you're playing the Giants.
Yeah, well,
like last week.
Yeah, that's not anybody. That's the Giants.
I think that stuff like that goes underrated though because that gives Dak some confidence going into the playoffs.
Sure,
that ball he hit Beasley with was ridiculous.
I love that Jason Garrett did that. I'm not a Jason Garrett fan at all, but I love that he kept them in that game.
Oh, yeah, they
played in the game and
full tilt.
Played that game competitively. Yeah, I love that because his team needed that.
Yeah, they went full tilt at them. They had absolutely zero to play for. Couldn't move up a slot on go up or go down in the NFC, and they played them full tilt.
Zeke's a monster. That's their problem.
Zeke got the game off.
Zeke is a monster. Yeah, because he'll break one and it could be game over for you. But I like Russell Wilson, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I know he's corny as shit. You know what I mean?
I like Russell Wilson.
I like Russell Wilson,
he
man.
Can play ball.
I think he can play ball. He's a gamer. Yeah. Dude plays his ass off. He brings it every game.
Never complains.
Never complains. He gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
A lot of hate.
He just plays ball.
Yeah. I don't think they're as talented as they've been in the past, but yeah. I think, I'm going to say, I think from top to bottom, we're the most talented team in the NFC.
Man, if we could pull it off and run the table, that'd be really interesting.
Because you look at New Orleans, New Orleans is good, but New Orleans also has just this crazy home field advantage that makes them that much more scary. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I had to tell you the Saints were coming to Soldier Field, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
feel good about that. You know what I mean? But if you're like, oh, you got to go down to the Superdome, it's like the Superdome is this place that gives – the Superdome's worth 6 points. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, I went to the Sugar Bowl when I was down there, and that was my first time in the Superdome.
Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
It was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's like an old school ass building,
right? It's just an old school big ass building. The ceiling is so high, bro.
Yeah.
The structure is massive. The noise in there was loud. The Texas fans were loud. The Georgia fans were loud. It was a cool place to watch a game.
Those are two fan bases that are going to travel for a game.
Sure. And it was it was really dope. I would love if the tickets aren't astronomical, which they will be. To get down there, if the Bears made it down there, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But, that was my first time in the Superdome, and I will definitely be back.
Where's the Super Bowl this year?
Atlanta.
It's Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's the new joint.
Yeah.
That place is supposed to be amazing.
That's right. It is Atlanta, and they got Maroon 5 playing. That's the whole controversy.
Why is that a controversy?
Oh, you ever heard all this? All the Atlanta local artists are mad Because they got Maroon 5, but it's like Atlanta. Like, come on, you can't get like Outkast.
Travis Scott's in there too, I thought.
Travis Scott's from Houston.
Yeah, he's from Houston. Yeah, you're right.
You can't get like people are like, oh, you can't get Outkast, you can't get T.I., you can't get some of these old school Atlanta people like Luda. You know, like Atlanta's got so many different people. You couldn't get the Migos.
They could have gave it to Gunna.
You couldn't get the Migos. You couldn't get Lil Baby. Nah,
they could have gave it to Gunna.
You
No
couldn't
doubt.
get 2 Chainz. You know, but like really, like you think of all Atlanta artists you could have got. You could have made that shit dope. Outkast, just here, Outkast. Come on.
It could have been some soulful shit. Yeah, it could have been dope.
Yeah, it's Atlanta. You get Maroon 5. Like no disrespect.
Isn't that like their third time doing it?
Yeah, because you know they want to keep it safe.
Janet Jackson, bro.
Yeah, after the Janet Jackson thing, they were done, man.
This shit is over with.
Yeah, I think Beyonce said she wouldn't do it.
Yeah, or Hove said like I don't y'all need me, I don't need y'all type thing.
We should be over a great time to pull up that picture of Hove on the jet ski.
Oh, the jet ski. Oh, dude, my computer died low key. So if anyone's dropping comments, my computer died. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, we get no Boylen clips, huh?
Yeah, no Boylen clips. But let's switch over to the Bulls. Yeah. You see the graphic bullshit. It's pretty constant.
Yep.
I know we talked about this before, but if the Bears weren't good, this would be a really somber time.
Definitely.
In the city for sports.
100%.
Like, it would be ugly. It'd be tough to watch. You'd have nothing to go home to and watch. Even hockey fans included. Like, they're huff. The Bulls are huff. It's tough. But the Bears got us for now. Yesterday, Bulls trade Justin Holiday to Memphis.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, for Marshawn Brooks, who we don't think is even going to report. And then Wayne Sessions is not going to report.
Wayne Selden,
excuse me. Yeah, Wayne Selden's not going to report.
Who cares?
One of them's not going to report. But
why? Because he knows he's going to get waived, or
yeah, that's KCJ Hoops reported that one of them's not going to report. I can't remember who it is, but they get traded to Memphis for Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday gets traded for Memphis for those two guys, and count them, 2 second-round picks.
Wow.
19 and 20 from Memphis.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like much, but we've got in the habit of dropping those off.
So you mean to tell me the Bulls made a trade and didn't include second-round picks? We got some back?
The Bulls got rid of Justin Holiday, got 2 players and 2 picks.
Wow.
And since we got the 2 players, we had to waive one.
Yes. The best move guard packs era right here.
Cameron Payne is now not on the Bulls.
Gone.
On the Bulls roster. Waived him.
Gone.
I got beef with Cam Payne, bro.
Cornball of the century.
Cornball of the century.
Should call it the Cam Payne
I wish
award.
I could pull it up. He gets waived, and he tweets out the
hands like that.
Yeah, the thank God hands.
I saw what you tweeted back to him.
Get your ass out of town ASAP.
Yeah, seriously, bro.
I understand our squad is going through a little turmoil. We don't have the best front office. We probably have the worst front office. Our coach is a drill sergeant, but you are in absolutely no way, shape, or form able to celebrate getting waived from a roster. You just got waived from probably one of the worst teams in basketball.
You just got waived from your last NBA roster.
Yeah, like what is this a joke?
I don't see how any team could look at film or Cam Payne over his Bulls tenure and be like, oh, I want to bring him in because he shows me something. There is not one thing that he does well on the basketball court.
It's crazy.
He had that one game where he hit all the threes earlier in the year. Other than that, he literally there's no skill that he brings to a basketball court.
He deleted the tweet, but yeah he brings no skill whatsoever. And guys like that, you should 100%. You shouldn't be saying a word ever.
Or you should be saying, I want to thank the Bulls for this great opportunity.
Yes.
Because we picked up his option this year.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Could have been out the league this year.
He should be like, wow, thank you very much for the opportunity. I gave you my all. Good luck going. Yeah. 100. Yeah, you're actually.
Don't burn. Yeah, that's what you say.
You're actually dead on.
It's called not burning your bridges.
You definitely don't celebrate.
Yeah.
Because they gave you every opportunity to do something. And it was just never going to happen.
The year we made the Cam Payne deal was the year that we went to the playoffs and didn't have a point guard. And Cam Payne was so bad that instead of bringing him on to even play any minutes at point in that series against who was that against? The Rondo year. The Rondo got hurt. We took him to 7. Boston, yeah. Yeah. Instead of even we left him inactive.
Yeah.
And that was the year that we had traded for him.
He was awful.
We just knew he's trash. Trash.
I can't remember who
Summer
wrote this
League
in the
games,
Sun-Times.
it was trash in Summer League.
I think it was they like went like they said like don't quote me on this, but they said as soon as we saw him walk in the facility, we saw him at practice for like 20 minutes. We were like, this dude cannot.
Who said
that? They were like, this dude has no business in the NBA whatsoever. Period.
Yeah, that
like,
was the John Paxson thing right after they made the trade for him.
He came in the facility.
And they looked
at
him
it and were like,
he's trash.
Oh my God, this dude's garbage.
Trash.
Yeah, like he can't play in the league.
But yet they still brought him back this year. I don't even understand what was the point of picking up his option this year.
No, there was no point.
Because we're trash, but again, we don't need to bring players on that we have no intention of keeping. You knew there was nothing he could have done to convince me that he wasn't trash this year. I don't understand why I brought him on.
Yeah, and that was kind of that whole point where we have this whole beef with Boylen that we have right now is you're giving all these guys minutes that have nothing to do with the future of this basketball team.
Playing Justin Holiday 35 minutes a game.
Justin Holiday, and we're posting up Robin Lopez and giving him 10, 11 shots.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Justin Holiday's going.
Thank God.
More minutes for my guy Antonio Blakeney.
And Hutchinson, everybody. More
Everybody.
minutes for hopefully. He might sign a 32-year-old shooting guard off the street that he likes and give him 30 minutes a game because the guy is willing to do suicides in practice.
Boylen is the NBA version of like Bobby Knight.
Without the winning.
Right. But like the attitude.
Yeah.
That's the type of attitude. He's just a drill sergeant.
But, like, I don't understand. Like, so, and this is where I'm talking about where I always talk about how they don't have a clear directive, right? So when you sit him down and we talked about it, he's empowered, right? You get to do whatever you want to do, right? But was there no rule when you told him that the one thing you have to do is play the young guys?
You got to develop these guys.
Where does he, if he feels he has that much power that he can play Wendell Carter 13 minutes a game, then my question truly is, what the fuck is the plan?
Yeah.
How can he do that? It's happened before. It's the second time he's done it.
I mean, from what I'm seeing is that it looks like they told him that to go out and try to win ball games.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, what else would they have told him? Because like he's saying, I don't like what Wendell's doing, so that's why he's not playing, and I'm going to get the guys that are making the biggest impact on the floor, get them minutes. Essentially saying to try to win the game.
I don't like what he's doing. Well, then coach him.
That's what I said.
Do better.
Yeah.
But he needs the minutes. He's a piece going forward.
A big piece.
A big piece going forward. Throw him out there and lose fucking ball games. No one on this. There's no path for us to make the playoffs, right? So what are you trying to get better for? A lower draft pick? A higher draft pick? Higher meaning like 8th, 9th, 10th? What's the point? And again, like, how do you feel empowered to bench Wendell Carter Jr. and play him 13 minutes a game? How do you feel empowered to run a post-up offense with Robin Lopez?
This is why. Because he's a drill sergeant. It's his way or the highway. He's all about trying to prove a point.
So then who's in charge? If you're Garpax, why you can go ahead and say, hey, you can be a hard ass all you want to, but the one thing you need to do is play these guys. We have to know what we have in them going forward. Or else, how are we going to build around them? How are you going to build around Wendell Carter if he's on the bench? What film do you have to look at to say these are the type of players we want to surround him with? And now Lauri Markkanen's back, and those are two of your biggest pieces. So don't you want to play them as many minutes as together? Because how do we build around that? How do we build around our last 2 years of lottery picks? You don't know if you don't play them together. Who cares about winning? So the result is what, last night?
A blowout.
Is this what we're trying to do then? Because again, if you're hanging in tough and you're playing competitive games, you can try to sell that shit to fans. You can't sell 84 fucking points at home against the Orlando Magic and tell me that it's a culture change.
Right.
You can't sell that to fans. So again, where do you get off saying that I can only play Wendell Carter Jr. 13 minutes? I didn't like what I saw. He was 0 for 5, but he was 0 for 5 on stuff that he would normally do. It was just tough. It was a tough game.
He was just missing shots.
He's got to play through those stretches.
Right.
Hey, man, you got to stay out there. You got to correct that shit. Coach him.
That was my thing. Sub him out. Sit him down. Tell him what you don't like. Tell him what you want him to improve.
Give him an earful.
And then put him back on the floor.
Go back on the floor. Hey, man, stop bullshitting out there.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, that's a hard-ass coach to me. You want to be Popovich? I've seen Popovich pull Tim Duncan out the game and say, what the fuck?
Right. And then, but he's putting him back in the game.
Get your ass back in the game now. Don't do it again.
Right.
That's coaching.
That was exactly what I tweeted. It's
you don't wait till your after game film sessions that you love to say, hey, this is why I paid you 13 minutes.
And this was the thing too. It's not like we're jumping on him like this is the first time this has happened.
No, he's done it.
He sat Wendell multiple
times
in multiple different games, multiple different spots, and played him 10, 11, 12 minutes.
Right.
Just can't happen.
And if he's truly hired for next year, what games are you trying to win this year and for what purpose? Again, you should be developing the guys who are going to be there next year. Lopez isn't going to be there next year. He probably won't be there next week. It's just stupid. But this is what happens when you have a front office who signs a guy for $20 million and then decides 25 games into the season.
I was over that. I forgot about that.
No, it's fine. But let's look at the whole thing. I forgot about it too, and then I remembered it like 2 days ago. And I'm like, wait, hold on.
He's sitting on the bench.
We're just not going to play. Sorry, man, it didn't work out. You're not the player that we thought you would be. Yes, you were. Jabari didn't do anything he didn't do before. What was the point of signing him?
Boylen's not going to play Wendell. He's not definitely not. Look, listen, Boylen wants everybody to play D. The D has shown an improvement. The offense is at the bottom of the league.
It's going beyond backwards.
That no clip of him talking about the fast break.
Yeah.
And we basically we got a turnover. It was a 4-on-3 break, and we pulled it out and did a half court set. No one else in the NBA does that.
That's
ever.
100% right.
100% the work, and like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So they want him to play defense now. To play I don't even agree with what I'm saying, but maybe you get those guys a little bit of defensive mentality, and then Boylen goes away, and then you go get an offensive guy or a defensive assistant. I mean, I don't know, but
yeah, that's a great philosophy. Let's just shit on this year.
Yeah.
To maybe try to build a defensive presence, and then we'll bring somebody in next year who wants to coach offense. And once again, give our players who have been here for like longer than 2 years now their sixth message, their sixth organizational mandate in the last like 3 years. We're going to be this type of team. No, we're going to be this type of team. We want to be this type of team. Hey, we're contenders. Hey, we're not contenders. Hey, we want Jabari. No, we don't want Jabari. Like, who makes decisions on the fly like this? Hey, I like this coach. I don't like this coach anymore.
And I agree with what you're saying about Cam. Should have been like, hey, thanks for the opportunity. I'm out of here. Say whatever you want, like underneath the surface, whatever. Yeah. But him sending the emoji, like thank God emoji, was I'm out from under this clown sergeant coach.
Yeah.
I'm out of this disorganized organization that's been telling me I'm the point guard of the future. I'm this, I'm that, and now I'm getting waived. He was just like, his initial reaction was relief.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's like,
fine.
all right, I'm out. You know what I mean?
That's fine. But still, whatever, that's fine. Either way, that still doesn't excuse. I mean, it's not meant to excuse, but
right.
The issues
I'm just
are
trying
there,
to explain what you know. What I'm saying, what I think he was thinking.
How many redos can you get? You get redos on coaches. You get redos on signings. If I'm Reinsdorf, I'm like, so you mean to tell me I gave Dwayne Wade $20 million not to play, and I've given 3 coaches at least 1 year of contract not to coach,
and now I'm giving Jabari.
And now I'm giving Jabari. If we don't move him, we will move him, but he's at least going to make a couple $1 million during this time not to play.
Yeah, I'm paying a lot of people that aren't around anymore.
I'm paying a lot of decisions that people looked back and said they didn't like, but they know I won't do shit about it, so they can just second guess all day.
Right.
I've never seen so much second guessing on the fly. It's so crazy. Like, what was your plan when you did it? Are you just doing things because you know that you can just change them later because nobody cares? Anybody else gets fired. to
that, and it's just a bunch of patchwork shit.
Yeah,
just patchwork after the Wade patchwork. Jabari is a patch.
But the way you fix your bad patches is literally just ripping the patch off and let everything come out and put another one on.
Eventually they come to the surface and it's like, ugh.
That's why you fire coaches on Christmas Eve. That's why you fire Hoiberg. That's why you do the Jabari thing. It is baffling to me that they almost got away with this because it is $20 million. What we could have done something else with that. With all those minutes that we gave him throughout the year, we could have done something else with those.
Yeah, no doubt.
And now you can't trade him because you have completely – teams know you want to get rid of him. So what team's going to make a good offer to you? Yeah. Or a better offer? They're going to lowball the shit out of you. They're going to say, look, what are you going to do, not play him? Because you can't put him back out there. That's a no. That's an insult.
Yeah.
You can't throw him back out there. He will never wear a Bulls uniform again.
Never.
So teams are going to lowball. You know what I mean? I'll give you Jimmer Fredette here. He's not even playing in the NBA right now. You can have him for Jabari. You know what I mean? Like
Jimmer going for 60 a night in Asia, though.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, man,
but,
the silver lining in all this is my boy Blakeney gets more minutes.
That's fine.
He's going to get big shots. Shout out my guy. All right, let's rotate to the NBA. I was coming back from New Orleans. I was tired, bro. Yeah. I had partied for 6 days in a row. My cousin got married, one of my best family members. Shout out my guy, Brody. Congratulations once again. I was beat. I got home. My girl's already sleeping. I start the game from the start because it was the late game. I start the Rocket. No, I started it on time.
Oh, you got it. Okay, I was like, you restarted the bet. Yeah,
I got home. I turn on the Rockets, Warriors, and I watch the first half, and the Warriors are on their ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I unpack my bag, brush my teeth, and I come back, and it took me like 30 minutes to like unpack my bag and hang shit back up, whatever. It was the fourth quarter, and it was close. It was like 6-7 point game to start the fourth or whatever it was. But I'm like, all right, let me sit down and watch this.
Yeah.
That's the best game of the year.
It was incredible.
It was incredible, bro.
Incredible, yeah.
James Harden versus the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Pure point blank.
Incredible. He was incredible.
Yeah. Where are you at with James? Is he the best player in the league right now?
No, I hate this rotating narrative of best player in the league based on what you saw last night. This is so morning
bro,
sports talk show.
He's gone.
No,
for
the last. No, I understand, but I'm just saying like that when people do that, like because let's say somebody else has a huge game, they'll be like, "Oh, is such and such the best player in the league?"
Yeah, that's
like
true.
You know how that shit always happens.
Yeah, it's like saying to win the game, you can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, fuck out of here. But right now, he's playing the best basketball of anybody in the league. Offensively, he's the most unstoppable player in the league offensively right now.
Since he scored 50, was that 10?
I think he scored 40 in
10
3
days
straight
ago?
games.
He scored 50.
He's got 35 in like 9 of his last 11 or something.
I was watching FS1, and they said that over the last like 10 games, he's averaging 30 on free throws and threes.
Yeah.
Not even like his buckets not even his buckets his going drives, to the basket. Yeah. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah. And he's crazy efficient, too.
He passes the rock. He rebounds. Yeah. He's playing 42 minutes a game. Yeah. Chris Paul's not around. He's doing everything.
Everything.
After the game, he had a quote that I want to get your thoughts on. He said, I want people to stop talking about me getting fouled and getting to the line and start talking about my greatness. And I was like,
oh, James.
James. Interesting. He's sick of that.
Sick of hearing that shit. Yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm drawing these fouls.
They call the foul. Stop following me.
Stop. Like, he basically, and then he said like the day before, he was like, I'm setting booby traps for y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are going for them, and I'm exploiting them every time.
If you watch his game, it is crazy because it's not like he has some flurry of moves that he beats you with. Like, he does the same things. He just does them over, and he's so good at it. He's so good at the little Euro step.
He waits for you to make a mistake.
His hesitation. He's not crazy athletic. He's not jumping over anybody. Like, he does. It's very just methodical. And that's why it's so mad. And people say, oh, he's unlocked the cheat code. Like, no, he's just really good at what he does.
He's the best.
He's really good at what he does. Like, he is the things that he is good at, he has mastered how to get. He's mastered drawing contact. He's mastered this Euro step. He's mastered the hesitation game. Yeah. He's mastered this slow game. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so, his game, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's almost counterintuitive. You know what I mean? Like, you're used to these like super hyper athletic wing guys who are trying to boom on you and all this craziness. Like, James Harden is just going to like, smooth,
whatever you give him, he'll take and he can do it.
Yeah,
all. That's
exactly.
Simple as
He's gonna lull you, and just gonna do his thing.
There was my guy D Will when he was in the league. Right when he came in the league, this is when James was still in OKC.
Yeah,
and they used to play at the Drew together.
Yeah,
because James is from California. And my guy D Will is from California as well. They used to play at the Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this like it was yesterday. I was talking to D about the Drew, whatever. He goes, James Harden is the best pickup basketball player in the league. It's not even close. And this is when like he was still coming off the bench in Oklahoma, and he he wasn't really that guy yet.
Yeah.
This was like before the year that he started getting all those minutes. This is like before he was still on the bench. He wasn't that man yet. I don't even know if he had a beard yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what you mean he's the best? He looked at me in the face. He goes, bruh, he's the best pickup basketball player in the league, and it's not close. If I'm going to go play pickup, James Harden is who I'm picking. And I think about that all the time because that's essentially what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's playing a pickup game. He brings you out, mixes you, steps back, shoots threes, goes to the basket, draws a ton of D, dumps it for an assist.
Yep.
It's simple as that.
That's what he's doing,
Like it's masterful, really.
Yeah, you weren't at ASU when he was there, right?
No.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, I used to see him. He used to ride around campus on a bike and just
some super LA shit.
Super LA shit. But he was getting buckets.
Yeah, he's a bucket getter.
ASU was terrible, but like James Harden would get buckets. I think he averaged like 24 points a game in college or something ridiculous. He was a certified bucket getter.
I don't know how many times I see him step back and be like, that's a block shot. Yeah. Like, there's no way he gets that off. And he gets it off
last night.
Every single time.
That game winner.
I'm like, how is he getting these
That game
off?
winner, he had 3 people around him. He's got crazy. He's skilled.
I'm just like, I don't know how he's getting these.
Did you hear after the game when they were like, did you ever like, what are you thinking when you shot that shot? He's like, oh, I practiced that. I shot from that same spot last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
first he says, y'all keep asking me.
Yeah, keep asking. He goes, every time you ask me, I'm gonna tell you the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Every time you ask me these type of questions, I'm gonna give you the same answer.
Y'all keep asking me this shit. Like, I don't practice these all the time. Like, this is what I do.
And those dudes do practice that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So yeah, I mean, right now he's playing the best ball of any player in the league. I'm still got Giannis as my MVP though. Yeah,
people are. Yeah, that seems like it's gonna be the.
Yeah. But if Harden keeps up this pace and Houston continues to surge,
I mean, 40-point triple doubles.
Yeah.
I think they're like 10-1 in their last 11. We were talking about how they were dead in the water. Now we're talking about how they're the best team in the West. Yeah. Like he's turned that shit around 100%. In a heartbeat.
And Clint Capella's a hooper too.
Yeah, he's
Clint Capella's perfect for what he does.
Perfect for James Harden.
He's the rim runner, crazy energy, gets a lot of rebounds. Yeah,
perfect for James Harden.
Yep.
The other big storyline of the day in the NBA was Kawhi was going back to Kawhi goes back to San Antonio. Him and Danny Green get booed. How do you feel about Kawhi?
No, Danny Green didn't get booed.
He didn't get booed?
So that was the thing. They cheered for Danny Green every time, and then booed Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
So, him and
Danny I didn't catch that game. I was on my way home from the airport.
Danny Green would get cheered every time he touched the ball when he was coming out for warm-ups and everything. And then when Kawhi got the ball, he would get booed. And then at one point, they were chanting traitor.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. How you feel about that?
What do you expect? I mean, those are fans, man. That's a passionate fan base. If you're a Spurs fan and you've been a Spurs fan for, say, the past 20 years, your thought is, why in the hell would anyone ever want to leave this? I mean, think about it. Like, you're looking at a model franchise, not just in basketball, across all sports. You know, multiple titles, always in the playoffs, iconic coach, like a very like team-first, team-friendly environment. So you're probably like, why would anybody ever want to leave this? You feel like you had that superstar, and it was just pulled away. And he said, no, I don't want to be here, and went somewhere else. Like, yeah, you're going to boo him. Of course. Well, what, are they going to cheer for him?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
What do you expect from fans, man? Like for all the games that you go to, you expect like civility at these sports games, and I'm just trying to figure out what do you go watch? You go to the Masters? What the fuck?
You know, I wasn't expecting Kawhi to get that treatment. I don't know why.
Oh, I knew it.
Just because he's such a quiet dude, I guess, maybe. And, you know, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting him to get that slander.
Pop didn't like it. You saw Pop after the game, right?
Yeah, but Pop he did quit.
Yeah.
He quit on the franchise. He was like, I'm done here.
And think about it, the Spurs are like, why would you ever leave us? Like, us?
They paid him that last year, too. He didn't play.
He didn't play. Like, you know, you don't leave us, and, like, we're going to boo you. But then, you know, shout out DeMar DeRozan, though. Came out with a triple-double monster game.
First triple-double of his career.
I like DeMar, man.
He's a great player.
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. Spurs are still doing their thing.
That's a great fit for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished his career there.
Yeah, why would you leave?
Just goes 22 a night for the next 6 years.
Go to the playoffs every single year.
Yeah. It's a good spot for him, no doubt.
Last story.
D-Rose.
Biggest. D-Rose.
Lead the way, baby.
Hey, also All-Star voting came out yesterday.
Yeah.
D-Rose second amongst West guard. Who's first? Was it Russell Westbrook is first? Oh, Steph Curry, obviously. Yeah. Second amongst guards for the West in All-Star voting. So I know I went ahead and cast my vote today. Have you cast your vote?
Nah.
We should include that link on the Twitter.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
D-Rose.
I'm in for that.
Like
Hold
everybody
on.
that's watching right now, like I don't know how many people we got right now. Please go vote for D-Rose on the NBA All-Star thing, man.
Here it is.
What you got?
That's the East.
It had to be Steph Curry. Was number 1, right, for guards?
Yeah, Steph Curry number 1 at 793,000, and then Derrick Rose is at 700K.
Oh, so D-Rose could pass Steph. What if D-Rose starts? He can't start though, right? Starting is selected by the coaches and the players.
Yeah, I don't know. They just brought the fan stuff back or something.
But you can't do you can't do the vote on Twitter anymore.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works now.
Either way, look, Derrick Rose is gonna play in the All-Star game this year. I think it's a great story. I saw Dwayne getting interviewed about it. He's like, if you're not rooting for Derrick Rose, there's something wrong with you.
Dude, 150,000 more votes than James Harden.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, Derrick Rose has way more than James Harden.
He's the 3rd overall in the West, period. It goes LeBron, Steph, Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
So
for a second I blanked on LeBron being in the West. I was like, what do you mean LeBron?
West? Yeah. LeBron on the West side. He's got 1 million plus votes.
So D Rose is gonna make it to the All-Star game, man. Like, and it's not like what a year he's having, also putting up like 19 and 5, shooting 48% or 46% from 3-point land. Yeah, obviously, I mean, he's got the whole league behind him, man.
It's big. And every time they ask him, he's like, I don't promote myself. He's like,
I don't.
Basically, and every time they put a mic in his face, regardless of the words that come out of his mouth, he's saying, I'm just playing basketball, bro. Like, this is what I do.
That's what I do.
Like, y'all want me to say, like, I'm promoting myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy to be on the All-Star
man. Like,
team.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah,
he wouldn't do that when he was the MVP.
No matter what he says, he's just getting around to, I'm just playing ball, bro.
Playing ball, man.
I'm in Minnesota. I got a coach that believes in me. I'm playing ball.
D Rose just wants to hoop.
100%.
Like that. The one thing I took from that Athletic, the oral history of the Bulls squad.
Yeah, shout out Darnell for that interview, bro.
When they were talking about like they'd all go to the club and Derek be like, I'll go sometimes, but that's not really my thing. I just want to go home.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, dude just wants to hoop, bro. Like, yeah, after the 50-point game, he's like, man, I work my ass off, man, but I do this for the fans, man. Right. I do it for this arena, man. Like, he's just
a hooper,
he's
bro.
He's just a hooper. He's not gonna do that. No Instagram, no Twitter, no nothing. Like, shout out D Rose, man.
Yeah.
Great story.
And you could tell he's just hooping. He got the scraggly look. He doesn't
care.
care.
Scraggly look. He does not care, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Does not care.
He went through a phase where he was getting super lined up, and you know what I'm saying. He had like he's just like hooping now.
I'm from Inglewood, bro.
I'm hooping, bro.
Yeah,
I'm hanging out in Minnesota. I'm just
my
hooping,
life
bro.
is great. I made $200 million.
Boatloads
and
of
I'm
cash.
like 26. Like, yeah, my life is great, bro. I got no pressure anymore.
Yeah,
I'm good. Do you think D Rose will get a contract next year?
He's gonna have to, right?
Yeah,
he has to. His agent's gonna be like, this, bro.
He's shooting threes now at a high clip.
He's shooting threes.
Yeah.
Here's the sample.
Yeah.
Here's the video. He's going to the basket. He has no problem coming off the bench.
Yeah.
That's
a big thing.
Look, I just need $13 million per, and that's it.
That's a big thing. I didn't even think about that, but that's huge for his career. He can literally go and look. I got no ego.
No problem.
I've been coming off the bench for 3 years now.
I just want to hoop.
I just want to hoop, bro.
I'll come off the bench. Yeah. Those New York days and that mental stuff that I was going through, I'm over that.
I'll hoop in Utah. I'll hoop in Cleveland. I'll hoop in Minnesota. I'll hoop anywhere.
For 13 per.
For 13 million. Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted. For 13 and a half.
Adidas is still paying them crazy money, right? Yeah, Adidas is paying like $13 million.
I don't see why he can't get like a 3-year, $42 million deal. I don't see why not.
That's crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is. What have you done for me lately?
Would you be in favor of the Bulls bringing back D Rose?
If it can contribute to the going forward of the shit, I don't see why not.
What if D Rose came back to Chicago and like just redid? Yeah, that'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That would be a whole other situation with the circus that would surround that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I don't think he would want it.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would either.
He's like, I don't want to deal with that. I love Chicago, but I don't want to. They're just gonna want. I just want to hoop. Yeah,
especially with Jim Boylen over there.
Yeah,
nah, I'm
he's
cool.
not listening. No, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, nah, I'm cool. Like Tibbs, the whole thing.
Tibbs loves him.
Yeah, so they're just out there hooping. Yeah, that's it.
Shout out D Rose.
Yeah, man. Congrats on the All-Star nod. That's it for No Catch Up Chicago. The Bears play Sunday 3:25. I'm sorry for that, Nick.
Yeah. I'm about to take my nap earlier.
But it's the playoffs. We're excited about that. After the game, I think I'm going to do, if you want to hop on the phone with me too, we can. I'm going to do a hotline.
Okay.
I'm just going to have people call in after the game. So if you're into that, if you like that last episode where I had some call-ins, it got a bunch of listens on the audio, so it seemed like people enjoyed it. So I'm going to do a hotline after the game on Sunday. Bear down, man.
Let's get it.
For Nick the Quick, I am Sean Little. No Catch Up Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. Listen up. Go subscribe, man. Tell your homies, man.
Tell everybody.
Stop playing, man. It's 2019.